The Great Betrayal. The message arrived on a quiet Tuesday morning, its significance belied by the mundane timing of its delivery. Ambassador Sarah Chen stood in the United Earth Embassy on Centauri Prime, her hands trembling as she read the crystalline display for the third time. The words remained unchanged, their meaning becoming more devastating with each reading. By unanimous decision of the Interstellar Alliance Council, Earth's membership is hereby terminated, effective immediately. All human representatives are to vacate Alliance space within 48 standard hours. No explanation. No warning. 20 years of diplomatic relations, technological exchange, and peaceful cooperation ended in a single transmission. Sarah's first instinct was to demand clarification, but the embassy's communications array found only silence. Their usual channels to Alliance representatives were dead, cut off as cleanly as their membership. Through the embassy's panoramic windows, she watched as Alliance security vessels moved into position, their weapon systems clearly powered up. The message was clear: leave or be removed. Within hours, similar scenes played out across Alliance space as human diplomats and traders found themselves suddenly persona non grata. Ships were impounded, contracts were nullified, and generations of progress evaporated in an instant. Back on Earth, the United Nations Security Council convened an emergency session. The chamber buzzed with tension as representatives from every nation struggled to make sense of the situation. Admiral James Kincaid, commander of Earth's Space Force, stood at the podium, his weathered face grave. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, "what we're facing isn't just a diplomatic crisis. This is a prelude to something far worse." He gestured to a holographic display showing Alliance fleet movements. "In the past 6 hours, we've detected massive fleet repositioning across Alliance space. They're creating a quarantine zone around our solar system." Defense Minister Liu Wei of China leaned forward. "Are you suggesting they mean to isolate us completely?" "No," Kincaid replied, his voice hard. "I'm suggesting they mean to eliminate us." The chamber erupted in chaos, but was quickly silenced by Dr. Maya Patel's arrival. The head of Earth's Advanced Technology Division rushed to the podium, her usual composed demeanor cracked by urgency. "Before our systems were cut off, I managed to decrypt partial transmissions between Alliance members," she announced, triggering a new hologram. "This wasn't a democratic decision. Earth's expulsion was orchestrated by the Arcturus bloc, specifically High Commander Zentith. Images appeared of a tall, ethereal being with silvery skin and multiple eyes, the leader of the Alliance's most technologically advanced species." Maya continued, "They've been systematizing our elimination for years. Our rapid technological advancement frightened them, particularly our recent breakthroughs in quantum computing and neural interface technology. But we shared all our advances with the Alliance," protested the French representative. "We followed every protocol." "That's precisely what worried them," Maya explained. "Our rate of innovation is unprecedented in Alliance history. While other species took centuries to develop technologies we mastered in decades, they saw our potential as a threat to their dominion." Admiral Kincaid stepped forward again. "We've confirmed that Alliance ships are already moving to cut off our deep space colonies. We have less than 72 hours before Earth is completely isolated." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity had been betrayed by those they trusted most, and now faced extinction or subjugation. The Alliance had expected them to crumble, to beg for mercy or accept their fate. They had severely miscalculated. President Carmen Rodriguez of the United States stood, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "Then we have no choice. We activate the Prometheus Protocol." A collective gasp rippled through the chamber. The Prometheus Protocol was a contingency plan developed in secret, meant for exactly this type of scenario: the complete abandonment or betrayal by alien allies. It was controversial, expensive, and incredibly risky. It was also humanity's only hope. All opposed. Rodriguez asked. The silence was deafening. "Then let it be recorded. As of this moment, Earth is at war, not for territory or resources, but for our right to exist. Initiate worldwide military mobilization. Activate all sleeper research facilities. Begin Operation Dark Phoenix. Within hours, hidden facilities across the globe hummed to life. Projects that had been developed in secret, away from Alliance oversight, were quickly moved into production. The human spirit, when pushed to the brink, proved to be more resilient than their former allies could have imagined. In orbit, the first signs of humanity's preparation became visible. Massive structures, previously camouflaged as orbital debris, began to move. These weren't the primitive ships the Alliance had allowed humanity to build. These were something else entirely, weapons and vessels developed in secret, incorporating reverse-engineered Alliance technology with uniquely human innovations. Dr. Maya Patel's team had already begun activating the Quantum Communication Network, a completely independent system that would allow Earth's forces to coordinate without relying on Alliance technology. The network was based on principles that the Alliance had deemed impossible, yet another example of humanity's knack for achieving the seemingly impossible. As the first day of their expulsion drew to a close, Admiral Kincaid stood in the newly activated Strategic Command Center beneath Mount Cheyenne. Holographic displays showed the positioning of Alliance forces, the status of Earth's defensive preparations, and the progress of evacuation efforts for their outer colonies. "They think they've caught us unprepared," he said to the assembled military leaders. "They think we're primitive, predictable, weak." A fierce smile crossed his face. "Let's show them how wrong they are." The Alliance had made a crucial mistake. They had judged humanity by their visible achievements, their official technological level, their diplomatic compliance. They had failed to account for humanity's greatest strength, their ability to innovate, adapt, and overcome when backed into a corner. The next few days would show the galaxy exactly what humanity was capable of when pushed too far. The age of compliance was over. The age of human defiance had begun. Project Phoenix. Deep beneath the Himalayas, in a facility that officially didn't exist, Dr. Maya Patel stood before a massive holographic display. The chamber hummed with energy as quantum computers processed data at speeds that would have made their former Alliance allies blanch. But this technology wasn't borrowed or stolen. It was purely human innovation. "Show me Phoenix Array current status," she commanded. The display shifted, revealing a network of satellites in various stages of completion. These weren't ordinary communication satellites or defense platforms. They were something entirely new, something that would change the face of warfare forever. Dr. Patel called out her assistant, Dr. Marcus Wong, from his workstation. "The neural interface tests are showing unprecedented success rates. The volunteers are achieving synchronization levels we thought impossible." Maya allowed herself a small smile. The Neural Enhancement Program was perhaps their most ambitious project, and their most dangerous. It pushed the boundaries of human capability, allowing operators to interface directly with machines at a level that even the Alliance had never achieved. The risk of brain damage was high, but there had been no shortage of volunteers after the betrayal. "Time to implementation?" she asked. 4 weeks for the 1st Battalion, Marcus replied. "The neural templates are stabilizing faster than projected." 4 weeks. They would have to move faster. Alliance ships had already begun probing Earth's outer defense perimeter, testing their responses. Admiral Kincaid's forces were holding them back for now, but everyone knew it was only a matter of time before the full invasion fleet arrived. In orbit, the first of humanity's new warships was nearing completion. The UEA's Prometheus was unlike anything ever seen in the galaxy. While Alliance vessels relied on standardized technology refined over millennia, the Prometheus incorporated radical new designs. Its hull was composed of self-repairing nanomaterials. Its weapon systems used principles of quantum entanglement that the Alliance had dismissed as theoretical. Most importantly, it could be controlled by a neural-linked pilot with reaction times that defied conventional physics. Admiral Kincaid toured the ship's construction facility, accompanied by Colonel Sarah Chen, the former ambassador who had now taken a military role. The betrayal had hit her particularly hard, but she had channeled that pain into determination. "Will it be ready in time?" Sarah asked, watching as automated construction drones swarmed around the massive vessel. "It has to be," Kincaid replied. "The real question is whether the pilots will be ready. Neural integration isn't a simple process." "They'll be ready," Sarah said firmly. "I'm joining the program myself." Kincaid turned to her in surprise. "The risk is worth taking," she interrupted. "I spent years thinking I understood our allies, that I could bridge the gap between our species. I was wrong. Now it's time to show them what humanity can really do." Back in the Himalayan facility, Maya's team had made another breakthrough. The quantum communication network was now fully operational, allowing instantaneous communication across vast distances without relying on conventional subspace channels. More importantly, it was completely undetectable to Alliance scanning technology. Dr. Patel, a young researcher, burst into her office, tablet in hand. "The FTL tests. You need to see this." Maya followed him to the testing chamber. The FTL drive had been humanity's most closely guarded secret. While they had pretended to rely on Alliance-provided drive technology, they had been developing their own system based on entirely different principles. The test chamber contained a small probe equipped with the prototype drive. As Maya watched, it activated. There was no flash of light, no surge of energy. The probe simply vanished. Moments later, it reappeared. "Range and accuracy?" Maya asked, trying to keep her voice steady. 10 light years, with a deviation of less than 1 meter, the researcher replied proudly. The Alliance said this kind of precision was impossible. They said our understanding of spatial mechanics was too primitive. They said a lot of things, Maya replied. Time to scale up for ship-sized implementation. 3 weeks, maybe less with the new quantum fabrication systems online. Everything was coming together faster than they had dared hope. Humanity's greatest strength had always been its ability to innovate under pressure, to find solutions where others saw only problems. The Alliance's betrayal had united Earth's scientists and engineers with a common purpose, breaking down barriers between nations and disciplines. In the Strategic Command Center, President Rodriguez reviewed the latest progress reports. The Alliance's quarantine fleet had grown, now numbering over 1,000 ships. Conventional wisdom said that Earth didn't stand a chance against such overwhelming force. But conventional wisdom hadn't accounted for Project Phoenix. How long until the first strike fleet is ready? She asked Admiral Kincaid. 3 weeks for the ships, 4 for the neural-linked pilots. If the enemy gives us that long. They will, Sarah Chen interjected. Her neural implant surgery had been successful, and she now spoke with quiet confidence. I know how they think. They're methodical, cautious. They'll want to ensure total superiority before they move against us. They don't understand how quickly humans can advance when pushed. Maya's voice came through the quantum comm, her hologram appearing in the center of the room. We've just completed the first full-scale FTL test. It works better than we hoped. We can have the entire fleet equipped within 2 weeks. Rodriguez nodded. Then that's our timeline. 2 weeks to prepare. Then we take the fight to them. Let's show the galaxy what happens when you back humanity into a corner. Throughout the solar system, humanity's response to betrayal took shape. Ships were completed and crews trained. The Phoenix array neared activation. Neural-linked pilots pushed the boundaries of human potential. And in hidden laboratories, weapons were developed that would shake the foundations of Alliance superiority. The Alliance had expected humanity to break when cast out. Instead, they had sparked a revolution that would reshape the galaxy. Project Phoenix wasn't just a military response. It was humanity's declaration of independence from alien oversight, their proof that they deserved their place among the stars. In 2 weeks, the galaxy would learn just how dangerous humanity could be. The Shadow War. Commander Elena Santos crouched in the shadows of an abandoned Alliance outpost on Europa, her neural implant silently feeding her tactical data. Her team had tracked Alliance infiltrators to this location, but something felt wrong. The facility was too quiet, too empty. "Quantum scan complete," whispered Lieutenant Raj Patel through their secure neural link. "You're not going to believe this, Commander. The energy signatures, they're not Alliance tech. They're something much older." Elena's enhanced senses picked up subtle vibrations through the ice. Whatever lay beneath this outpost, it was still active after all these centuries. Her team had stumbled onto something far more significant than a spy nest. "All units, converge on my position," she ordered through the neural net. "And someone get Dr. Patel on the line. She needs to see this." The discovery on Europa changed everything. The facility wasn't just an outpost. It was a vault, built by a civilization that predated the Alliance itself. Within its chambers, humanity found technologies that the Alliance had supposedly invented, proof that they had been hoarding and controlling scientific advancement across the galaxy for millennia. Dr. Maya Patel arrived within hours through one of the new FTL ships. As she studied the ancient devices, her eyes widened with understanding. "They've been lying to everyone," she said. "The Alliance didn't develop most of their technology. They found it, just like we did, and then prevented other species from doing the same." But the vault held more than just technology. Hidden in its databases was evidence of other species who had been suppressed or eliminated when they grew too advanced. Earth wasn't the first civilization the Alliance had betrayed, just the latest in a long line. Meanwhile, in the Kuiper Belt, Sarah Chen led a different kind of operation. Her neural implants allowed her to pilot a stealth ship with unprecedented precision, slipping through gaps in Alliance patrol patterns that would have been impossible to navigate with conventional controls. Her mission: contact the outcasts, species that had been banned from Alliance space for various crimes. Some had been accused of dangerous research, others of political dissent. All had suffered under Alliance dominion. The first meeting took place in a rogue asteroid colony. Representatives from 12 different species gathered in secret, each with their own reasons to hate the Alliance. Sarah stood before them, her neural implant translating their various languages in real time. "We found proof of the Alliance's true nature," she began, sharing the data from Europa. "They're not protectors of peace and progress. They're suppressors of it. And now we have the means to fight back." The evidence was irrefutable. The Alliance's perfectly crafted image of benevolent leadership crumbled in the face of ancient records showing millennia of manipulation and suppression. One by one, the outcast species pledged their support to Earth's cause. But the Alliance wasn't idle. Their agents had infiltrated Earth's colonies, planted sleeper cells in major cities. The shadow war escalated as both sides maneuvered for advantage. Admiral Kincaid coordinated the counterintelligence effort from the Strategic Command Center. "They're trying to sabotage Project Phoenix," he reported to President Rodriguez. 3 attempts on the neural enhancement facilities in the past week alone. Casualties: minor. The neural-linked security teams are proving more effective than anyone expected. The Alliance doesn't understand how to fight opponents who can react at quantum speeds. The first major victory came in the asteroid belt. An Alliance strike force attempted to destroy a secret shipyard, not realizing that the neural-linked pilots were already operational. The battle was over in minutes. Enhanced human reflexes, combined with the advanced technology from the Europa Vault, proved devastating. The Alliance ships never stood a chance. Their crews, relying on conventional controls and reaction times, couldn't match the speed and precision of neural-linked pilots. The entire strike force was disabled without a single human casualty. More importantly, they took prisoners, the first Alliance personnel to be captured since the expulsion. Dr. Maya Patel led the interrogations personally, using neural interface technology to bypass language barriers and deception. What they learned was shocking. The Alliance leadership, particularly the Arcturus bloc, had been lying to their own people. Most Alliance citizens believed that Earth had been expelled for developing prohibited weapons technology. They didn't know about the Europa Vault or the long history of suppressing emerging civilizations. Sarah Chen saw an opportunity. Using the quantum communication network, they began broadcasting the truth to Alliance worlds. Evidence of their leaders' deceptions, proof of their technological suppression, records of civilizations destroyed to maintain control. All of it went out across the galaxy. The response was immediate. Riots broke out on Alliance worlds as citizens learned they had been manipulated for generations. The carefully maintained facade of Alliance unity began to crack. But it was the discovery in the deeper levels of the Europa Vault that truly changed the game. Hidden behind layers of security that had taken weeks to crack, they'd found weapons. Not just advanced technology, but planet-killing weapons that the Alliance had claimed were mythological. They were never protecting the galaxy from dangerous technology. Maya explained to the gathered leadership. They were hoarding it, ensuring no one else could challenge their power. President Rodriguez studied the reports with a grim expression. "Can we duplicate this technology?" "We already are," Maya replied. "But more importantly, we found a way to defend against it. The Alliance's greatest weapons are about to become obsolete." The Shadow War had served its purpose. Earth had gained allies, exposed Alliance lies, and acquired the technology they needed to fight back. But more importantly, they had proven that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their weapons or their neural enhancements. It was their ability to unite others against tyranny. As the covert phase of the conflict drew to a close, Admiral Kincaid addressed the combined fleet of human and outcast ships. The Alliance thought they could isolate us, break us, erase us from history like they did to so many others. Instead, they united the galaxy against them. The Shadow War is over. Now the real fight begins. In orbit around Europa, the combined fleet made final preparations. The neural-linked pilots synchronized with their ships. Ancient weapons were integrated with human innovations, and battle plans were distributed through the quantum network. The time for hiding was over. The Alliance was about to learn that some shadows bite back. Rising Storm. The battle for Proxima Centauri began at dawn, Earth Standard Time. The combined fleet of human and outcast ships dropped out of FTL in perfect formation, their neural-linked pilots moving with impossible precision. At their head, the UES Prometheus gleamed in the light of an alien sun. Sarah Chen, now Admiral of the First Strike Fleet, felt the familiar surge of the neural interface connecting her consciousness to her ship. Around her, 500 other commanders did the same, their minds linking through the quantum network to form a unified battle consciousness. "Alliance fleet detected," reported her tactical officer. 3,000 ships and counting. They brought their entire defensive fleet. Sarah allowed herself a grim smile. "Good. That's exactly what we wanted." The Alliance had expected this attack. Their spies had detected the fleet's preparation. Their tacticians had predicted the target. What they hadn't predicted was how humanity would fight. The first wave of Alliance ships launched a massive barrage of conventional weapons. Energy beams and plasma torpedoes filled space, enough firepower to annihilate any normal fleet. But this wasn't a normal fleet. The neural-linked pilots reacted at quantum speeds, their ships dancing through gaps in the barrage that shouldn't have existed. Meanwhile, technology recovered from the Europa Vault activated, creating localized distortions in space-time that swallowed enemy fire. "All ships, execute Operation Thunderbolt," Sarah commanded through the neural net. The human fleet split apart with perfect coordination, fragmenting into smaller units that the Alliance targeting systems couldn't track effectively. Each group operated as a single organism, pilots sharing sensor data and tactical decisions at the speed of thought. Admiral Kincaid watched the battle unfold from strategic command. "Phase 1 complete," he reported to President Rodriguez. "The Alliance fleet is fully committed. Time to show them what Project Phoenix can really do." At his signal, the Phoenix array activated. Satellites hidden throughout the solar system connected through quantum entanglement, forming a network that encompassed both fleets. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then Alliance ships began to lose power. The array wasn't a weapon in the conventional sense. It was something far more elegant, a system that could selectively disrupt the exotic particles that Alliance technology relied on. Ships that had been unstoppable for millennia suddenly found themselves running on emergency power. "This is Admiral Chen to all Alliance vessels," Sarah broadcast on all frequencies. "Your weapons are disabled, your shields are down, and your FTL drives are offline. Surrender now." The response came from High Commander Zentith himself, his silvery face appearing on the command screen. "You primitive savages," he snarled. "Do you think this trick will save you? We still outnumber you 6-1. Numbers stopped mattering the moment you taught us how to count," Sarah replied. Then she gave the order that would change the course of the war. "All ships, activate the Lazarus Protocol." Dr. Maya Patel had outdone herself with this one. The Lazarus Protocol used principles discovered in the Europa Vault to temporarily suppress the laws of physics within a localized area. Alliance ships found their advanced materials reverting to base elements, their carefully engineered systems falling apart at the atomic level. The battle quickly turned into a rout. Alliance ships, unable to maintain structural integrity, began breaking apart. Crews abandoned their disintegrating vessels, fleeing in escape pods. But it wasn't a complete victory. High Commander Zentith had one last card to play. "If we cannot have dominion," his final transmission declared, "then none shall have it." A massive ship emerged from FTL at the edge of the system, one of the planet-killing weapons from ancient times. Sarah recognized it from the vault records. "All ships, fall back. They're going to." The weapon fired. A beam of pure darkness, a tear in reality itself, lanced out toward Proxima Centauri. If it hit, the star would collapse, taking both fleets with it. But humanity had planned for this too. The UES Prometheus moved to intercept, its hull glowing with energy drawn from the Phoenix array. The neural-linked pilots, working in perfect harmony, activated the ship's primary weapon, a device that Dr. Patel had reverse-engineered from the vault's deepest secrets. Reality twisted. The darkness met light. For a moment, space itself seemed to hold its breath. Then the planet killer exploded, torn apart by forces it was never meant to contain. The Prometheus emerged scared but intact, its neural-linked crew strained but alive. High Commander Zentith's ship tried to flee, but the neural-linked pilots were faster. The Prometheus caught it in a tractor beam, holding it in place as Sarah Chen delivered humanity's message. "You try to erase us," she broadcasted across all frequencies. "You feared our potential, our creativity, our determination. You thought we would break when cast out. Instead, we evolved. We united the species you oppressed. We mastered the technologies you hoarded. And now, we offer you one chance to surrender." The silence stretched for long moments. Then, one by one, Alliance ships began powering down their weapons. The great Arcturus block, which had dominated the galaxy for millennia, had finally met its match. But victory came with a price. The battle had revealed the true scope of Alliance weapons, the depths of their contingency plans. And in the aftermath, as human and outcast ships secured the Proxima Centauri system, a disturbing question emerged. What else had the Alliance been hiding? What greater threats lurked in the darkness between stars? As Sarah Chen looked out at the battlefield, watching rescue ships collect survivors from both sides, she knew this wasn't the end. It was barely the beginning. The storm they had unleashed would reshape the galaxy. The only question was, into what? Dawn of the Human Empire. 1 year after the Battle of Proxima Centauri, Earth had changed. The planet had always been beautiful from orbit, but now it sparkled with new energy as quantum towers rose from every major city, their crystalline structures channeling power from the Phoenix array. Humanity had not just survived, they had flourished. In the rebuilt United Nations chamber, now called the Galactic Assembly, President Rodriguez stood before representatives from 27 different species. Some were former outcasts, others were Alliance worlds that had chosen to break away after learning the truth. All of them had come to witness the birth of something new. The old alliance ruled through fear and suppression. Rodriguez began. They hoarded knowledge, stifled innovation, and eliminated any civilization they couldn't control. Today, we propose a different path. Dr. Maya Patel stepped forward, her neural implant projecting holographic data for all to see. We've begun sharing the technologies from the Europa Vault. Not just the weapons or ships, but the medical advances, the clean energy systems, everything the Alliance kept hidden. Knowledge belongs to everyone. The announcement sent ripples through the assembly. This was unprecedented. No dominant power had ever willingly shared advanced technology. But humanity had learned from the Alliance's mistakes. True strength came not from hoarding power, but from uplifting others. Admiral Sarah Chen, her neural implants now more sophisticated than ever, led the security briefing. The combined fleet now patrols former Alliance space, but not as conquerors. We're there to protect, to preserve peace while younger civilizations develop. The neural interface program is being adapted for other species, allowing for true cooperation across biological barriers. But not everything was peaceful. In the far reaches of space, Admiral Kincaid's exploration fleets had made disturbing discoveries. The Alliance hadn't just been hiding technology. They had been hiding threats. Ancient weapons platforms still orbited dead stars. Automated defense systems guarded mysterious structures that predated known civilization. Most worrying were the messages, quantum-encrypted warnings left by the civilization that had built the Europa Vault. They spoke of something coming, a threat that had forced them to hide their technology rather than face destruction. Commander Elena Santos, leading a deep space expedition, had found more vaults. Each one contained pieces of a larger puzzle, hints of a cosmic game where the Alliance had been merely the latest players. The previous civilization hadn't hidden their technology out of greed. They had hidden it to keep it safe until it was needed. In a secure chamber beneath the Himalayas, Maya studied the latest findings. The neural interface technology, the quantum communications, even the Phoenix array. They're all parts of a larger system. The previous civilization was building something, preparing for something. The Alliance found pieces of it, but never understood the whole. President Rodriguez called an emergency session of the Security Council. What are we facing? We don't know exactly, Maya admitted. But the Vault data suggests it's something that exists outside normal spacetime. The Alliance's dominion of the galaxy might have actually been serving a purpose, keeping species from developing technology that would attract attention. So by breaking their control, Sarah began. We may have started a countdown, Maya finished, but we've also united the galaxy in a way they never could. Whatever's coming, we'll face it together. The human empire was taking shape, but not as a force of conquest. Instead, it was becoming a shield, protecting younger species, sharing knowledge, preparing civilization for challenges yet to come. The neural interface technology was evolving, allowing for deeper understanding between different species. The Phoenix array was expanding, creating a network that could detect disturbances in spacetime itself. In orbit around Earth, the UES Prometheus underwent upgrades, incorporating technology that even the Vault builders hadn't perfected. Humanity's gift for innovation was pushing boundaries that ancient civilizations had thought impossible. Sarah Chen stood on the observation deck, watching ships from 24 worlds navigate Earth's busy space lanes. Do you think we're ready? She asked Admiral Kincaid. For whatever's out there. Ready? He smiled. Humanity is never ready. That's our greatest strength. We adapt, we innovate, we overcome. The Alliance tried to suppress that spirit, and look what happened to them. Deep in space, automatic sensors detected something moving in the void between galaxies. Ancient defense systems, dormant for millions of years, began to wake up. The Vault builders' warnings were becoming reality. But this time, the galaxy wasn't ruled by an alliance that hoarded secrets and suppressed innovation. This time, humanity's creative spirit had united civilizations, unlocked forgotten technologies, and pushed the boundaries of what was possible. In the Galactic Assembly, President Rodriguez signed the final document establishing the new order. Not an empire of conquest, but a federation of equals. Earth would lead not through suppression, but through innovation and cooperation. As the document was signed, quantum communications carried the news to every world in known space. The human empire was rising, but it was unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. It was an empire built on freedom, on shared knowledge, on the belief that every species deserved the chance to reach their full potential. The Alliance had feared humanity's potential for change. They never understood that this very quality, this ability to adapt, to think differently, to face the impossible with determination, was exactly what the galaxy needed. The dawn of the human empire marked the beginning of a new age. And as ancient threats stirred in the darkness between stars, as void-born entities turned their attention to the Milky Way, they would find something unprecedented. A galaxy united not by fear, but by hope. A civilization guided not by suppression, but by innovation. They would find humanity standing ready. And humanity, as always, would find a way to prevail. The end.